I'm demonstrating the ink colors this year, and they are awesome. They're very vibrant, fun, fresh, and I just love them. They're totally awesome. So the one color, this is Pineapple Punch. This is Lovely Lipstick, Grapefruit Grove, and yes, I grew clover so I could have clover. Call me Clover.
She literally grew
Blueberry Bushel, and it grew in a week from seeds.
You don't have my brown thumb.
And the inks are over here, and what's cool about the inks is they're stackable. They're easy to, they're more intuitive to open. I think for us that are experienced with the Stampin' Up! Ones, you may not find them as intuitive, but they open easily and slide, and they're not as confusing for newbies that you fight it. And I really like them, and they're flat, and they stack and don't slide off very easily. So some of the other products I have here is the markers. These are the Stampin' Right markers. The ribbon. They all come in the 1/8 inch cross grain. And then, of course, your ink refills.
I want it all.
I want them all. They also come in 12 by 12 combo paper. This is just a sample. It comes in 8.5 and 12 by 12. There is mini binder clips that come in the ink colors, a set of stamping embossing powder. There's like 5 of them. It's a set. They have tinted faceted buttons, which I forgot to bring, but I have on my samples, so you can see those. The Stampin' Blends come in a Color Me Clover, Grapefruit Grove, and Pineapple Punch. I think I have that listed wrong.
What was it you said?
Stampin' Blends come in some of these new ink colors.
But they come in some of them. I think that's right. And then they're mixed in several of the designer papers and other accessories with other colors. And one of them I think that's particularly popularly mixed is the Grapefruit Grove. So I'm going to demonstrate a card where I'm going to be mixing the Grapefruit Grove with Crumb Cake, which is another really popular old color. I am demoing this with the brand new stamp set I got this morning from Jennifer for doing the demo.
Yay.
Dandelion Wishes. I fell in love with this as soon as I saw it. So what I did was I created a base with 3 layers. I'm using Crumb Cake for the card, and then I cut down layers 1/4 each, smaller on each one, of white, and then the Grapefruit Grove. And then I stamped randomly, trying not to overthink it, which I always do. Oops, get that out of the way. And Grapefruit Grove. Cute. And then I accented it with a little bit of Crumb Cake. Just to make a random background, because I'm going to have an awesome greeting also in Crumb Cake. And this is from the stitched label framelits, which you're going to see a lot of today because they're totally awesome.
It is beautiful.
And I'm going to dimensional up my greeting. Well, that's my...
That's her coin phrase.
Yes, yes.
I used to be in a club, and Joanna used to always say, oh, and you put it wonky, and she all had all sorts of words that she made up. And then I'm going to snail on a little bit. Jennifer, refresh my mind on what this ribbon
Burlap.
is. The burlap. And I'm going to glue dot a bow. anyways, and this is a bows I pre-tied with a bunny bow, which is the only bow I know. And I put it on cardstock, which makes it pop more.
Yes.
And you could add, I can add like a faceted gem or one of the tam buttons. There's a lot of accessories I think we could add to that to make it even more
Cute.
special.
Super cute.
That went so fast, too.
Yes, so-
Easy.
And then on my samples. Okay. These are my samples. Of course, I have to do my traditional banner, and here's the colors of the faceted gems. There is, they have a small one and a larger one. They have two sizes. So that's what comes in the
It only
colors.
comes in those three.
Only
colors.
these three colors. And then I did a card with, the jars of love. And I need to put a little greeting there. I've got to put, I was going to put like, live life in color or something like that on that. And then I did with the balloons, and this greetings from Perennial Birthdays. This is the new Varied Vases set.
So cute.
And this is that vellum paper, that graceful glass. And I just learned from somebody else. She asked me what side I colored it on. Well, this is with the markers, the Stampin' Right markers, that I colored it on the shiny side. But you can shine when you turn it around. You can get a different look. And I think it turns out even different if you color on this side and then turn the shiny side up. So this is just really cool paper, and there's really beautiful patterns in it. So that is really cool. And then this is the new one, Accented Blooms. Thank you. And I also did this in the Stampin' Rights because I didn't have Stampin' Blends, and it seemed a little dark, so I just went over with an aqua painter and just a little water on it and just went over it, and it made it kind of where it looked more like I blended it. Because these colors in particular were very dark. And this is the little framelits that carried over from Celebration. And Pocket Full of Sunshine. This is I think my favorite one. All these colors just blended for that set. And then this is the Crafting Forever, which is another set I really like.
Very good.
And then a couple other things I forgot to say in the beginning about I talked about the ink pads, but the ink has changed a little bit on the new pads, and it's less likely to bubble. Okay, and then it also is smoother coating and covers the stamp better. And I found that when I did that accented bloom, anything with solid is not as grainy as it used to be.
Good.
And you can use the old ink refills on the new pads, but you won't have, the inkers have a defoaming agent. You won't have advantage of it, except for the gray, the dark gray, the archival gray. If it was the archival gray, you can't use that ink pad on the new
Because we don't
same color
have
gray
archival
because
anymore.
it's not archival. Then it'll ruin it. But otherwise, I've just been very pleased with the new pads and the new format. And then I was kind of pleased because I have the blends and I have a few markers, but I just was kind of cool that I could color most things with them, and then you can go over it with a little bit of water and just kind of give yourself a little bit of blend. So you can use your markers.
It looks good.
Because I have always had struggle coloring with markers, but then once I did that, it blended and got, how markers sometimes, regular markers, you get the spots. Well, that kind of got rid of all that and did the shading. Not as nice
Very
as
good.
the blendables, but hey, it's a good substitute if you don't have the right color.
Exactly. Thank you, Lisa.
That's it.
Thank you very much. Woohoo.
And we can't pick.
There's nothing in there but stuff.
That's her.
I put it in there. I put it up here to
Awesome.
prop up my pineapple. It wouldn't stand up.
Well, that's a good idea.